What's going on, folk? Coming at you from the backyard studio. It's that time again. I'm your boy Mick.
And this is Jaron. What's good, people?
Yo, it's another Puff a Minute Cigars and Conversations. Just joining you guys again. Thanks for being with us, first of all. And we're going to get right into it, man, because today we're doing something a little bit different.
Yeah.
All right. We received, a little reach out from my man Violator from Raider Nation. So if you're looking at me right now and you're wondering what is Mick doing with all of his Giant gear on, if you're on a podcast, you got to picture it because it's theater of the mind. All right. But I'm rocking my Giants jersey, man. It's a throwback to my man Cruz. My Giants hat, because we are featuring one of the greats, fans, when it comes to fandom in Raider Nation, Violator. So if you know anything about Raider Nation, you got the guys that do the real, get dressed up, they go out there, the war paint and everything. They got the little section in the stadium, they call it the Black Hole, and they get there and they really support their team. And I'm like, you know what, if these guys can get dressed up and support their team, then as foolish as it may look right now, I'm going to get my gear out and I'm going to support these Giants, even though I don't know what the hell they doing right now. Okay, yeah. So that's what's going on, man. Violator, he reached out, man. He came out with his own new brand of a cigar. I don't know. I think this is kind of in the in the pre-launch phase. Yeah. They're just kind of testing the market out, right. And they wanted us to to reach out and they basically tell him what we thought about him. So he's got like 4 different bands here. I'm actually smoking the purple band, and again, these are called V57's, right? Because y'all know Violator rocks 57 all the time, right? Got his logo on the band there, and I got the signature series, the purple one, and the purple one is cognac infused. So when I first lit into this one, man, and took a first couple of puffs, I was really able to pick up that cognac. Very mild to me. They say medium to full, but it's kind of a mild stick to me right now, with the Maduro wrapper, bro. So, yeah. So tell us which one you rocking.
Yeah, so I got the red band. Okay. This is, from the taste, it's the Nicaraguan Puro. So this is supposed to be Nicaraguan through and now, except for the wrapper. The wrapper is a Maduro wrapper. You can see it's a little bit darker there. But like Mick said, even though with the Maduro wrapper, it's smoking pretty light right now. Do get some peppery taste, which is different for a Nicaraguan, for me anyway. Yeah. You don't necessarily always pick up that peppery taste, more the coffees, that little bit of leather, smooth tasting. Right. But so far the cigar is burning well, good construction. I noticed right off the bat it was pretty oily wrapper, so it's burning nicely. And hopefully it gets the same way the whole way through. So.
Yeah, exactly, man, exactly. So like I said, this is Nicaraguan. Yours is Nicaraguan. He's got this yellow band right here, which I believe is a blend. It's a Nicaraguan Dominican blend. All right, so that one's here. We haven't tried this one yet. And then you got a black label there as well. Yeah. And let me refer to the tasting notes real quick. The black one is that's the one that's got the hints of coffee, right? So yeah, earth and coffee, so to speak. All right. So yeah, man. So hey, shouts out to you, Violator, man. Hey guys, this is not available yet in the tobacco shops. Okay. Yeah. So if you want to rock this, find this on Instagram. You should see. We're gonna shout them out, but on Instagram it's at Mabry Wayne. Okay, at Mabry Wayne, and his company is actually called Modo Sports, MODO Sports, all right? So shouts out to Violator, Modo Sports. Appreciate you guys, showing us some love and sending us and allowing us to test these out today.
Yeah, absolutely. We always appreciate the love, and we want to give honest feedback. Yeah. I think the viewers know we about our business when it comes to cigar smoking. Yeah, exactly. So, our followers on Instagram and what have you, I think they appreciate that as well. So we appreciate them reaching out to us and wanting an honest opinion about the smoke.
Yeah, I'll say this. If I didn't like it, I'll let you guys know, like off the bat. But this is really a pleasant smoke right now. I'm enjoying it. Like I said, it's not overpowering. I'm picking up that cognac, so it's really good. I'm enjoying it right now. Pairing it today with my man showed up with a bottle of that 114 old granddad. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate you for that, man. Hadn't even had my coffee yet, but cheers. Welcome to Vegas.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, that's how we getting down out here, man.
And that is 114 proof.
114, baby.
That's 57% alcohol. So it's no joke. That's some stuff. Put the hair on your chest.
Put a little hair on your chest, baby.
That nice hamburger meat.
I like that. I like that. Hey, man, what's going on in the world, man? You know, there's a story that I want to touch on before I get too deep, man. And again, I like good news. You know what I'm saying? But every now and then we have to share some, other things that are going on, man, that is not necessarily good, but people need to be informed.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And I want to talk a little bit today about Pamela Turner.
Okay.
In that case that happened down just on the outskirts of Houston, Texas, where, this young lady who was pregnant, from what I understand, was shot and killed by a officer of the law. Right? So, I think the people, one of the people, man, sometimes I listen to Breakdown, man, with Sean, I can't think of his last name right now, but you know who I'm talking about, man, from New York Times. But I think he did a real good job, man, of humanizing who she is. Because a lot of times the media, the police departments, man, will immediately go to making somebody look like they're less than human, but from what I understand of her story that came from her family is that she was a very, very sweet lady, mother and grandmother. She worked her way up to be a manager and a leader in the hospital where she worked at. But back in 2000, she started realizing that she was starting to have signs of mental illness. So she would have these episodes, what I'm saying, with the mental illness. And I believe that that's what was occurring that evening when she was out. The crazy thing about it is the officer who ultimately ended up taking her life actually knew her. They kind of lived in the same complex.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So he would have been familiar with her, maybe familiar with her dealings. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And we're here at A Puff a Minute. We talk very seriously about mental health wellness. I'm former military. I've seen the effects of trauma, what that can do to your mind, and how people continue to suffer with that throughout the years. And, you have good days, you have better days, but there's no real easy days, so to speak. It's something that's always weighing on you in the background. So with that, man, I just think that, personally, I think an investigation is warranted that's outside of the police department. Maybe the district attorney down there, should get involved and do an independent investigation of the events that took place that led to this. I'm encouraging any and all people, man, followers of the Puff a Minute, to call and literally, request, from the DA's office that be done. Because again, it's just a tragedy. Anytime a life is lost, man, or when you're dealing with somebody with mental illness, the last tool that you want to bring to that trade is a weapon.
Yeah.
You need somebody who has patience, who is caring, who she probably needed medication, in an ambulance. But what she did not need was a taser and a gun in that situation. It's just tragic, man. Yeah. It's just tragic.
I'll be interested to see what happens, just from what I've seen in recent history when it comes to these crimes against black people, and whether they're police involved shootings or different situations. We have some terrorist that goes on a rampage. The DAs have not had a good track record with prosecuting these cases.
Right.
I think one of the biggest ones that we saw was the Khalif Browder story.
True.
No one wanted to really act until he died. He took his own life. Then it was everybody's for reform and changing the laws. And his story was not unique by any means. And this young lady, although this is a very tragic situation, not unique by any standard.
Correct.
We've seen this too many times, too often as of late.
This is the second female to be killed by police, I think, in the last year in Texas.
In the last year, and then we got Sandra Bland.
Right.
Was before her. So
Sandra Bland is who I'm referring to. That was in Texas, right?
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you got these different situations that keep coming up. DAs do not have good track record. So I agree with you. If we can write letters, make phone calls, or what have you, let's do it and try to make something happen here. Let's change the track record. Yeah. Let's change their behavior, because right now there's a behavior problem. Yeah. But something I thought about when this story first came out is, I don't know if you recall this, a few years ago, right? Everybody started putting on the news, don't let your kids go outside and play by themselves.
Right.
You know, because everybody's out here taking kids. You know, they're getting kidnapped, they're getting raped, blah, blah, blah. But it was nothing new. But for a reason in the media, it was something to highlight. And I almost wonder, is this a real situation where we have a real issue with we're turning into a police state? Or is it becoming more sensationalized because we have camera phones, we have media that sensationalizes it? Is it that pattern, or do we have a real issue that we need to pay more attention to?
I think it's a little of both, right? I believe that the population in America has been somewhat desensitized to violence against African Americans, and with the incoming since the incoming of this new administration, right? It was almost like a backlash. I call it the Obama effect, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, people held such pent up resentment and anger, you know what I'm saying, for 8 years, that now, that somebody else is in the White House and he's seemingly on that side. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That now people feel like, you know what, now we can do whatever we want, we can get away with it again, and now it's payback time. Yeah. And literally that's what it feels like. I can't speak for, my Caucasian friends and followers that are out there, but as a black man, that's what it feels like. It feels like a backlash that society is trying to punish Black America right now, for the years that Obama was in office. Something interesting that I read recently that I thought was a major gain in this area was the state of California rephrased one of their laws when it came to police officers using deadly force. Because it used to read to the point like, deadly force was authorized if you felt that your life was in danger. But now it reads deadly force is only authorized if it's an extreme necessity, so to speak. That little word changes everything, because in every one of these cases, the officer will always say that they felt like their life was in danger. With Pamela Turner, he tried to flip it and say, well, I tased her, but she turned around and used the taser on me, which is totally impossible, man. I talked to so many different officers and stuff. Once that thing is deployed, it's deployed. And if anything, tasing somebody who is going through a mental episode is only going to make that episode worse, right? But anyway, by changing it to necessary, now when you look at the tapes, right, when you go back and thank God for social media, thank God for camera phones, right, today, because I do believe that is a part of it as well. To your earlier point, it's not just that it's the desensitization, but it's also that now everybody has these phones available and on them all the time, so we're capturing these moments more and more. But again, that little change, man, because now you can look at it and be like, well, was it really necessary? Because she was unarmed, right? She's a female, she can't match him in strength and weight or any of those types of things. So was shooting her in the face the only alternative to resolve that situation? I think not. But again, California has changed that. That law has changed that verbiage, not Texas and not a lot of states in the nation. I think that's the right track.
I think the only problem I would see with that is, and just thinking from a legalese standpoint and being, working with a lot of attorneys and what have you, when you leave things up to people's interpretation, things can get taken out of their view, right? So when you say a term like that, that's very broad.
It's very broad.
It's
exactly.
very broad.
Yes.
So now you're hoping that it gets interpreted by people that think logically, think through a situation logically. But when you get put on a jury stand, and and the juries are up there having to judge this, they're not always, the people that have that terminology or that knowledge. They're just ignorant to certain things. Yeah. So it makes it more difficult for them to interpret what that really means. Yeah. But it was easy for them to say, I could see why he felt like his life was in danger. Right. I could see that.
Yeah, exactly. So people, and that's again all the time, man. But was it absolutely necessary? You look at somebody the wrong way, you feel threatened. I saw a video earlier this week where an officer was trying to arrest somebody in front of their home.
Yeah.
And the officer was shaking the whole time. Shaking. Dude,
Scared.
it wasn't even the person that he thought it was. He couldn't even identify this guy. And, he's on his property with his kids and stuff. And he's like, what are you doing?
Warren in a whole nother state.
Crazy.
I saw the same story. Warren in a whole nother state. Shows him a picture of the dude. Looks nothing like the dude, apparently, because there were people around that said they saw the phone, saw the picture. It looked nothing like him.
Wow.
Then he told him his name. He said he was lying about his name.
Yep.
Then he said, get your ID. He said he's lying about his ID.
Exactly.
So it was like...
It was crazy.
Why was he so hell-bent on arresting this dude?
He had predetermined. that, that he was going to... But another good thing is that brother, that young man, knew his rights.
He did.
You know what I'm saying? And he
did.
stuck to his guns. He knew his rights. He's like, no, I'm not walking over to your vehicle.
Right.
I'm staying right here on my property.
Right.
And that was probably, that little thing right there may have saved his life. Because he said, I'm not going to be the next one. He said, you will not kill me today.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was very adamant with that.
Because if he'd have been resisting arrest and they got to fight in the middle of the street, it would have been a whole nother situation than I'm standing in my driveway and you trying to arrest me in my driveway.
Exactly. Exactly. And within camera view of his wife shooting the video the entire time. So yeah, man. But anyway, like I said, I don't want to just have a downer day. But these are real issues, man, that we have to figure out and that we have to deal with here in America. Because how long can we continue this, man? This hate has to stop at some point. So yeah, I
don't know if we can ever end racism, because I think everyone's going to have pride in who they are and who they are as a person. And we talk this whole thing, I'm a human being, but at the end of the day, you still have things about you and characteristics that make you unique, beautiful, and whatever else.
Yeah.
So I still think we may always have a little bit of racism, because we're going to have pride in who we are. But the hate, the prejudice, it's got to stop.
I agree.
It's got to stop.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Look, man, first of all, hey, Violator, I would buy this stick, bro. I'm just going to tell you right now. This is actually, man, very, very pleasant right now. I'm enjoying it. It's light. It's perfect for the morning time, too, which it is morning out here in Vegas right now. So this is, tell me what you're thinking.
It's good smoke. Only thing I would say is something about this peppery one here is getting a little caught in my throat. Got me feeling like a little dry in the back of my throat. So, the good flavor, good taste, but it's
granddad.
Maybe that's what it is, man. But I feel like it's just like going right to the back of my throat.
Well, I'm winning on this cognac infused.
Yeah, I should have got that one.
Yeah, I'm winning on this one. So, but yeah,
but man. Violator, we appreciate the love, man.
Absolutely.
Support. But what we tell them every week, man, we got to make sure we send them out right, though.
Send them out right?
Yeah. We got to make sure we tell them, hey, we on Spotify.
Got to check us
out there.
Spotify.
Make sure to follow us on Instagram. We appreciate all the love. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. You get the live video.
Yes.
You get to see us in person.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you get to see Mick in his New York
all my New York glory. Let's go.
New York glory.
Super Bowl, baby. Super Bowl.
New York glory or shame, whichever you want to call it. Because Josh Norman said he winning off of y'all.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
But anyway, man, like I said, follow us on everything. Make sure to check us out on Spotify, man. We got all the episodes uploaded there.
Yes.
Yeah, we got everything number 1 through 38, bro.
Yes.
38 episodes.
All up there, man.
Yeah. So, hey, we appreciate all the love and the support.
Hey, man, listen, guys. Over here to Puff a Minute, you know what I'm saying? If you don't know, now you know. It's all about cigars and conversation. It's 100% unscripted. We sit down, we light a stick, we have a little cognac or something to pair it with, some bourbon, and we just sit here and we just kind of chop it up, man. And we want to invite y'all all in to come in and share in the conversation with us. So if you haven't done it yet, be sure to comment. Let us know what you're smoking. Let us know what you want to hear, what you want us to talk about on the show. If you got a product or something like that you want us to feature, reach out to us. All of our information is in the profile, and that's it right there, yo. Again, thanks for joining us for another episode of A Puff a Minute. I'm your boy Mick.
This is Jaron, people.
And remember out there, we are not just blowing smoke.
Yes, sir.
Peace, and we'll see you next week.